क्या हुआ?
ऐसा कैसा लगाएंगे?
आपका पास कुछ ध्यान नहीं है ना? घर का पास है? घर पे? या ना, I will do. 1 minute.
मेरे पास लाया नहीं
मैं भी ये इतना टाइम बहुत टाइम यूज किया था, अभी ये आज ये ऐसा हो गया। ऐसा रखेगा। प्रोजेक्ट में सेट करने का है, थोड़ा स्टूल चाहिए, ये स्टूल चाहिए प्रोजेक्ट रखने के लिए। हरी हरी बोल।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
So thank you, Samraj Prabhu, for the energetic and ecstatic kirtan, and thank you all devotees for coming here to celebrate this auspicious day, appearance day of Sri Lord Balaram, Balaram Purnima. We are very happy to get such a wonderful association after so much of we have 2 months of break. So we are very happy, and we are thankful to all the devotees who have assembled here on this very auspicious day. Definitely we will be getting the blessings of the Lord. And now we will have a program, we will have a class by Grace Visva and Gaura Prabhu. So Prabhu will be taking class since working day. I will be taking a short class, we are taking the class and 8:40, around 8:40 we have the Aarti and parallel we do the Julan also, because today is the last day of Julan Yatra. So we have made whatever possible from our side. So children can do the Julan here, adults can do there. That will be after the class, then followed by Aarti and Prashadam. So we will try to complete, because tomorrow we are sustained for a full day. We will try to complete the program and to also glorify the Lord and to purify our heart. So let us all hear the Katha from Prabhuji, and let us all enthusiastically welcome Prabhuji by taking the Sutra Holy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. अभी किसी को हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन अनुवाद चाहिए? विक्रम प्रभु इसे यस प्रभु जी पीछे जाएंगे। हरि बोल। किसी को हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन चाहिए तो उधर बैठ सकता है, प्रभु जी भी आएंगे। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू प्रभु। They will leave them through the hall. It's okay?
Mix.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
श्री श्री बलराम पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव की जय। श्री बलराम पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव की जय। श्री बलराम पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to somebody.
हरे कृष्णा।
All glories to somebody.
हरे कृष्णा।
All glories to somebody.
हरे कृष्णा।
All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
Shri Radha Krishna
Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamitaṁ He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye
Vancha Kalpataruveshya Kripa Sindhurmeva Cha Patitanam Bhavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya
Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine
Namaste Saraswate Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome one and all of you to this celebration of what? Celebration of what?
Shri Balaram Purnima.
Shri Balaram Purnima. So, at the outset, I would like to first of all offer my humble prostrated obeisances at the lotus feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis to the Guru Varga, to Shri Krishna Balaram, to Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai, Shri Radha Madhav, Ashtasakhi Vrinda, so that I may speak the right words at the right time, in the right mood, as delineated by the Guru Parampara. And I am also not qualified to speak on such an elevated subject, on such an auspicious occasion, but somehow or the other, good fortune arises in a fool's life also. So this is a live example. But for my good fortune to fructify in my life, I humbly request all of you to please bless me and shower me with your mercy, so that I may be able to do this service for all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How many of you are celebrating Shri Balaram Purnima for the first time? Okay. So around 10% of the devotees. How many of you have celebrated Balaram Purnima more than 5 times? Around 30-40%. How many of you have celebrated Balaram Purnima more than 10 times? Around 10% of the devotees. Actually, we all should feel as though we are celebrating for the first time, because it is ever fresh. So, today on the auspicious occasion of Shri Balaram Purnima, first we will look at some Mangalacham prayers offered to Shri Balaram. Kindly repeat after me. Namastestu halagraha,
Namaste Halagraha,
Namaste Musalayuda,
Namaste Musalayuda,
Namaste Revati Kanta,
Namaste Revati Kanta,
Namaste Bhakta Vatsala,
Namaste Bhakta Vatsala,
Namaste Dharani Dhara,
Namaste Dharani Dhara,
Namaste Baliram Shrestha,
Namaste Balaram Shrestha,
Pradambare Namastestu,
Pradambare Namastestu,
and his pastimes are unlimited. Their glories are unlimited. The Lord's names are also unlimited. So out of the unlimited, in limited time, within limited space, with limited intelligence and limited senses, what can I glorify? So therefore, I thought it would be apt for all of us to understand the personality called Balaram. So today we are going to understand, or the subject matter, the theme of discussion for today is going to be Balaram Tattva. Balaram Tattva is to understand who is Balaram and why is he important in our lives. Yes?
Yes.
If we are celebrating somebody's birth or appearance annually occasion, that means that person is very special to us, right? Sometimes we go uninvited to weddings also, but never to birthday parties. Which means if we are celebrating someone's appearance, that person is very intimate and very special in our lives. But how special? That is Balaram Tattva. So, who is Balaram? When we ask this question to all of you, there are some common answers that come out from this question. For example, as soon as I ask that question, some of you might think, anybody wants to try? Who's Balaram? Balaram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And? Anybody else?
The elder brother of Krishna.
Elder brother of Krishna, yes. And? Adi Guru. And? Some people think he is one of the Dashavataras. Some people might feel he is the son of Rohini and Vasudev. Some people even think he is some king, some great personality in history, only to study and forget during school days. But today we will understand who is Balaram. Whenever we think of Balaram, it is impossible to not think of him in relation with Krishna, is it not?
Yes.
Always we say Krishna Balaram. Is it not? In fact, we never say Balaram is the brother of Krishna. We always say, we never say Krishna is the brother of Balaram. We say Balaram is the brother of Krishna. That is how close Balaramji is to Krishna. That is the affection and the bond between them. So today we will explore that dynamic relationship in detail. So which means there is a necessity to first understand Krishna and in connection with Balaramji to understand his mood better. All of you agree?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, why are you all staring at me like that? I still need to start.
You're already in trance.
So today we need to understand who is Balaram in connection with Lord Krishna. So again, when I ask that question, who is Krishna? Krishna is the cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anandiraja Govinda, Sarva Karana Karana. Most of you must have heard that verse. Sarva Karana Karana is the cause of all causes, everything. Which means even if Balaram has to appear, Krishna has something to do with it. So interesting. So, again, Srimad Bhagavatam explains, Ete Chamsa Kala Kunsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Which means, in short, Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. All avatars, all expansions, everything are emanating from Krishna. There is a famous verse in Bhagavad Gita that says everything and everybody rests in him. Any idea? 7:7.
Matta parataram nanyad Dhananjaya Vaisakautam Gautam Sutre Manigana Yuva.
So Krishna says like the pearls are resting on a string. Similarly, everything is resting on me. You can see the Vishwarup Darshan, how he literally gives live demo to Arjuna. So, we know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. and everything and everybody has some connection with him. Clear till now?
Yes.
Yes. We continue. So the question is, who is Balaram then? Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. Somebody read the translation, please.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balarama is his second body.
Lord Balaram is his second body. Same person, two bodies. Isn't that interesting? Same personality, two bodies. So the question is, why? Chaitanya Charitamrita further explains. They are the same person, they are the same identity, but they differ only in form, which means they both are Vishnu Tattva. Lord Balaram is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Please remember that last line, in fact we can recite it together. He assists
He assists
in Lord Krishna's
in Lord Krishna's
transcendental pastimes.
transcendental pastimes.
Now what does that mean? What does that mean, to assist Lord Krishna in his pastimes? Such an interesting dialogue. When somebody says that somebody is God, अगर हम कहते हैं कि कृष्ण भगवान है, तो भगवान को क्या मदद चाहिए? Does God need help? So why is Krishna expanding in two bodies and taking help from Balaram ji? So interesting, right? So fascinating. Let's explore this further. So as we all know, Balaram, the name Balaram is a composite of two words, Bala and Ram. Now when we say Bala and Ram, in common usage of language, there are few meanings of the words, right? For example, Bala means strength, stamina, power. At the same time, Ram, Ramante Yogino Anante Satyananda Chidatmani, Iti Rama Pade Nasti. Prabhupada is explaining that the meaning of Ram is the reservoir of all pleasure. So Ram means somebody who is beloved, somebody who is pleasing, charming, etc. So Balaram together means what Srila Prabhupada explains. Somebody read the last line. Somebody can read this.
So Balarama means who gives you spiritual strength for enjoying eternal blissful life. He is Balarama.
Exactly. So Bala does not mean physical strength. In fact, there were some people who interpreted Bala as physical strength. So to become devotees of Lord Ram or Balaram, they started going to physical gym and etc. and building body. That means all bodybuilders are devotees. Right? So, what does Balaram do in connection to the previous slide? He assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. How? By the potency of spiritual strength, Bala, and by the pleasure-giving potency, or by the potency of enjoyment, giving enjoyment. That is, enjoying eternal blissful life. We will explore both of these. So we now understand who is Balaram, at least as definition, as his name. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now we will understand Balaram Tattva in detail. Now, what I am going to speak next might be philosophically very heavy, but then I will try to summarize it in a very, very, very simple form towards the end. But the reason why you should understand this philosophically is because Leela or pastimes are very well known, because we've been hearing about Krishna and Balaram from childhood. But then when we think of them as mythical figures or some historical personalities, then we do not understand the true magnanimity of these personalities. So to truly appreciate Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, then we need to understand them in Tattva. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chame digam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. That is the benefit of understanding the Supreme Lord in Tattva, in actuality. So do not face away, try to be awake when I am explaining this philosophy, because it will explain who you are and who our beloved object is. So to understand Krishna and Balaram, the Supreme Lord, how do you do it? Open question. How do you do it?
Lord's mercy.
Lord's mercy. If all of you are staring at me like this, then the next 40 minutes will be very boring. Bhaktivedanta purports. How many of you know what Bhaktivedanta purports are? Bhaktivedanta purport यानी Bhaktivedanta भाष्य का मतलब क्या है? आपको पता है? Anybody? Whoever doesn't know should have one set of Srimad Bhagavatam at your house.
Haribo!
अगर आपको जानना है, if you want to know, then I would humbly request you please meet Sajjan Murari Prabhu or Manorini Subhadra Mataji and find out what Bhaktivedanta purports are. That will be the treasure of your life. Yes. So, how do we understand the Supreme Lord? Something very, very interesting. One cannot understand the Supreme Lord through his senses. What is the famous shloka that Prabhupada quotes? Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhave grahya indriyai sevon mukhe hi jitvado swayam eva spuradhyataha. Which means one cannot understand spiritual subject matter with their mundane senses and mind. Which means if today I tell you that Krishna and Balaram did this in Vrindavan, Krishna and Balaram did that in Mathura, and tell you 10 different stories, it might be very interesting to your heart, might be very, very entertaining to your ears, it might be so pacifying to your mind, but the soul will not be able to relish it unless you understand in actuality who these personalities are. Otherwise it will just be entertainment. The whole purpose of celebrating Balaram Purnima is to understand who Balaram is and to deepen our relationship with him. That is the only purpose. The purpose is not to have, of course, the benefit of a spiritual gathering is, by nature, anything spiritual is inherently blissful. So therefore, when we come to hear and to discuss and to celebrate Balaram Purnima, it becomes a very, very joyous occasion for our hearts. So, what is the process to understand spiritual subject matter, especially the Supreme Lord? One should raise oneself or elevate oneself from the material platform to the spiritual platform. Now, this spiritual platform is defined in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, by Lord Shiva during Daksha Yajna. It is called Vishuddha Sattva. Vishuddha Sattva is that platform of life completely free from the three modes of materialism. So you are completely free of material desire and material influence. That is the state of Vishuddha Sattva. Can somebody read the translation quickly? Some Mataji's, if you can see. Is it visible for all of you? No? Yes, yes.
I always agree in offering obeisances to the Lord.
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva, in pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is always pure consciousness, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Vasudeva, is revealed without any covering.
Exactly. So if you want to understand Vasudeva without any covering, completely revealed, how many of you want to understand Lord Vasudeva? Haribo! Looks like only the front row is eager. Haribo! So then we all should elevate ourselves to the Vasudeva Sattva platform. Now philosophically that sounds very interesting. What is this Vasudeva Sattva platform? Let's find out. Jiva Goswami explains this in the Bhagavad Sandarbha. Again, there are a lot of translations that come, but I will summarize it very succinctly. Jiva Goswami says that the spiritual energy of the Lord is divided into three aspects, which are Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini. Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini Shakti. So the spiritual energy of the Lord is one, because the Lord is the possessor of all spiritual energy. But there are three aspects to it divided. Why? Because the Lord, originally his form is Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. What is this Satchidananda Vigraha? What does Satchidananda mean? Sat means eternity, Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means bliss. So these three aspects of the Lord are present. At the same time, to experience and enhance these three aspects, the energy of the Lord is also distributed in three aspects, called Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini. So, what is Vishuddha Sattva then? Vishuddha Sattva, can somebody read these points? Somebody?
It is a specific mention that original energy or moral Shakti that Sri Jiva is rendering or with one energy. Which has the characteristic of being self-evident. 3. By which Bhagavada's Swarupa, Brahman or Bhagavan's Swarupa Shakti or Bhagavan's form become manifest. 4. Which is
Untouched by
Maya and
is therefore called Vishuddha. Thank you so much. So this Vishuddha Sattva, when somebody is existing on the Vishuddha Sattva platform, there are four aspects to it. One, the Vishuddha Sattva platform is the Mool Shakti of the Lord. It is the original spiritual energy of the Lord, first. Second, the energy, what is the nature of that in a Vishuddha Sattva? It is self-revealing. Self means what? Both self. The individual self and the supreme self. And reveals what? It reveals Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, aspects of the Lord. That's why in the verse we earlier read, Sattvam Vishuddham, Vasudeva Shabdita. It reveals Vasudeva. But because it is revealing Vasudeva, therefore it doesn't have any tinge of materiality in it. Therefore it is called Vishuddha, completely pure. So this Vishuddha Sattva is expanded into three forms or three aspects: Samvit, Sandhini and Hladini. Now Jiva Goswami gives these definitions in the Bhakti Sangha. I will try to succinctly explain what this is. I will read. That Shakti by which Bhagavan sustains his own existence and bestows existence upon others, and which pervades space, time, objects and so on, is called Sandhini. This is the Samvit means, though he is the embodiment of Samvit, that Shakti by which he knows and induces others to know is called Samvit. Now this is a loaded statement which we will understand later. In the same way, although he is the embodiment of Hlada or delight, which is the highest form of Samvit, the Shakti by which he experiences this delight and causes others to experience it is called Hlada. In short, by the Samvit potency, the Lord manifests the potency of existence. To exist in this place, we need a hall. We probably would have needed better AC, some prasadam, some fulus, etc. etc. Right? कुछ चीजें हमें चाहिए हमारी रहन सहन के लिए for our everyday life. तो ये हमें कौन देता है? Who gives all this? That is given by the Lord. But all of this on the spiritual platform is facilitated and manifested by the Sandhini potency. The Samvit potency is the all-knowing potency. It gives knowledge. And Hladini gives bliss. So in totality, when you understand Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini, you understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the idea behind it. So, if you have not understood anything till now, this is the summary slides. So please pay attention very, very closely. So the spiritual world is also Satchidananda. So therefore, the influence of Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini is also there in the spiritual world. So what do these energies manifest in the spiritual world? The Sandhini Shakti manifests the spiritual abodes, time, spiritual time, which is eternity. It gives place and it gives spiritual objects. Remember, in the spiritual world, everything is Chinmay, everything is spirit. So therefore, spiritual objects are also manifested by Sandhini Shakti. In other words, the Jiva Tattva is a separated expansion of Sandhini potency of the Lord. The Samvit Shakti manifests knowledge of the relationships. For example, if you simply build lot of buildings in one city, is that enough?
No.
You need some people to be there and you need to actually name them. Hospital, school, office, ityadi, correct? So there are relationships and connections that are required between all these different entities. That is given by the Samvit Shakti, which means it gives true ego. And at the same time, it gives some emotions peculiar to those abodes. For example, we might feel different in office than at home. Common example, right? And the wife might feel more interesting at the mother's place than the in-laws place. True. So the mood is also changing based on the place. That potency is Samvit Shakti. Hladini Shakti is the bliss that is experienced within the relationship or the mellow. So this is how the spiritual world is manifested. When we say Goloka evan nivasatya akhilatma bhuto, in Goloka what is happening? Vaikuntha what is happening? This is how the energies of the Lord is manifesting the spiritual world. Is everybody clear till here? Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everything and everybody is manifested by the spiritual energy of the Lord. This is the summary of what we discussed. So if you didn't understand anything, please take this away from this side. So we have the spiritual world. It's like one universe is ready. Is that enough? Enough?
Yes, sir.
In China there are something called ghost cities. Anybody knows?
Yes.
Huge cities are built.
Buildings.
Each apartment has 20-30 floors. Like this there are hundreds of apartments. But if you go there, only ants are there. No human beings at all. So there is this big spiritual world with all of these facilities. But nobody is there in it. Will that be sufficient?
No.
It should be inhabited. By whom? By the Jivanas. So we also need to understand what is the Swarupa of the soul. In other words, if we want to understand our connection with Balaram, first we have to understand who am I. Then we will understand who is Balaram and what is our relationship. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. So, if the Jiva Tattva is also an expansion of the Sandhini Shakti, that means the Jiva Tattva is also completely spiritual in nature. That means the Jiva is also Satchidananda in form. That is what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. What is he saying? Exactly. And also Mamai Vamsho. Right? There are many verses like that. I am saying, giving Father of all living entities. Like that. So we as Jivas have the same spiritual nature of Satchidananda as the Supreme Lord. But what is the difference? Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Jo Bahunam Yo Vidati Brahman. That we are qualitatively equal with the Lord, but quantitatively we are infinitesimal, very, very tiny. But the Lord is infinite. Yes, Anuvinti. Thank you. So the Sandhini Shakti of the Lord gives us our spiritual body or our spiritual identity. The Samvit Shakti gives us knowledge and will. Because as Jivatmas we are so tiny that we are not able to do anything. So the only thing that we can do as tiny Jivatmas is to actually desire for something. That's it. And once we desire something, based on our qualification, the Lord sanctions that desire and facilitates it. But for us to desire something, we need to have some knowledge. Right? If nobody knows what an iPhone is, will you desire for an iPhone?
No.
Therefore, they say ignorance is bliss. And the Hladini Shakti therefore gives bliss of that mellow. Here I want to read something very, very important. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining in Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita that spirit is a particular combination of conscious elements. And by this combination, the soul's spiritual body, the Lord's abode, and the Lord's form are manifest. Because everything is spiritual in nature. So by spiritual combination, you will get a spiritual entity. So from the Sandhini Shakti arises the spiritual body, from the Samvit Shakti arises the knowledge and will, and from Hladini Shakti comes bliss. So what does it mean when Krishna says Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara prapti dhirastatra namuyati. When he says you are not the body, you are the spirit soul, what does that exactly mean?
Not the story.
Yes, but it also means to realize that we are an infinitesimal expansion, or we are an infinitesimal part and parcel of the Lord and possessing the aspects of Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining, quoting Bhagavad Sarvam Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami. This is what Swarupa or Jiva Dharma means. This is what it means to be a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, when we say Sattvam Vishuddham, that's how we started, right? How is the Supreme Lord revealed? The Supreme Lord is revealed when we understand the Lord on the Vasudeva Sattva platform, but not on the platform of the body. So what is Vasudeva Sattva? Vasudeva Sattva is to realize Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini Shaktis of the Lord. This is Vasudeva Sattva. Now, when there is combination of Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini, in the material, for example, in the material nature, there are the three modes of material nature, right? What are those? Goodness, passion and ignorance, Sattva, Rajas and Tama. Based on the combination of Sattva, Rajas and Tama, there are different qualities and attributes that are manifest in different people, right? If somebody is very, very lazy, morose, which guna is in?
Tamo guna.
Predominantly in Tamo guna, right? If somebody is very, very interested and inclined towards religiosity and spiritual practices, Sattva guna. Like that. Similarly, different mellows of the Lord are displayed and experienced by different combinations of Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini Shaktis. So when the Sandhini Shakti of the Lord is dominating, or when the Vishuddha Sattva platform, the spiritual aspect is dominated by the Sandhini aspect, then that Shakti of the Lord is called as Adhara Shakti, or the Shakti of support. which means by the Adhara Shakti, there is phenomenon of existence. We just discussed, right? Sandhini Shakti gives the spiritual world. So how do you exist in the spiritual world? By the by the principle of existence. So Adhara Shakti gives us that potency to exist in the spiritual world. So Srila Goswami also explains that it is the Sandhini Shakti that enables the Jivatma to actually reveal the spiritual abode. If you want to know Krishna Balaram, which is the best place to go to? Vrindavan. Which means to understand Krishna Balaram, we need to understand who we are, who Krishna Balaram are, and what is their place also. Which means the Dham also should be revealed to the practitioner. How is the Dham revealed? To the Sandhini Shakti. So the supreme abode is revealed. Similarly, when the Vishuddha Sattva is dominated by Samvit, that Vishuddha Sattva is called Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya is again Vidya or knowledge. Like we saw, Samvit Shakti gives knowledge and will. Knowledge and will. So the Samvit Shakti establishes knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we are all part and parcels of Krishna. Our forgetfulness comes from forgetfulness of this principle. Spiritual knowledge is revealed. At the same time, when we understand that we are Hladini or the Vasudeva Sattva platform, Jai Shri Krishna Balarama ki Jai. When the Vasudeva Sattva platform is predominated by the Hladini Shakti, this is very, very interesting. It gives, or it is called Guhya Vidya. What is Guhya Vidya? Literally, what it means? Secret knowledge. What is that secret knowledge? That secret knowledge is Uttam Bhakti. Uttam Bhakti by which one can purchase Krishna. You see, Yashoda Maya, when Krishna and Balaram had toddlers, Yashoda Maya used to sing Tata Thaiya, Tata Thaiya, Tata Thaiya. And she used to say, Krishna and Balaram, please dance to my beat. I will clap. If you dance, I will give you sandesh. Krishna and Balaram used to be so excited that they used to come under the control of all the gopis and Yashoda Maya. And for their clapping rhythm, they used to also dance with nice steps. Tata Thaiya, Tata Thaiya. There's nice bhajan like this. So, one can purchase Krishna and Balaram by existing on this Vasudeva Sattva platform. So spiritual bliss is revealed. So when all Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini all together are in dominant mode, all of them are in perfectional stage, then Supreme Lord is revealed as Bhagavan. This aspect of Vasudeva Sattva is called Murti, where the Lord himself is revealed to us. So therefore, when we saw, when one needs to understand Krishna, or when one needs to understand the Supreme Lord, one needs to raise oneself to the platform of Vasudeva Sattva, or one needs to rise beyond the modes of material nature. Then he can understand the Supreme Lord. This is just a detailed science and background to give you an understanding of what it means to be in the spiritual world. So, why did I give all this philosophy to you and into your brains? To understand what is the role of Lord Balaram in our life. Because Balaram is the Lord of Sandhini Shakti. He is the person who can give us entry into the spiritual abode of the Lord. Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai. Isn't that interesting? Look at Balaram ji, he's just waiting for us to
Go back home, back to Godhead. So, in the Mundaka Upanishad it is stated, Srila Prabhupada quoted this verse many times. Nayam Atma Balahirena Labhya, which means one cannot attain the goal of life without the mercy of Balaram. In our life we are doing so many things to achieve so many goals. We are forgetful of what our goal of life is. First of all, we don't know. At the same time, we don't know how to achieve it. Even if we know this, we don't know who is the personality who can empower me and enable me to achieve it. Today is the celebration of that magnanimous personality who can help us to achieve the supreme goal of our life. Haribo!
Haribo!
This is the meaning of Bala. Bala means spiritual strength. Bala means to realize oneself, to realize the Supreme Lord and our relationship. Which means Bala also means to rise above the material platform and enter into the Vasudeva Sattva platform. This is the strength that is given by Lord Balaram. So we saw who is Lord Balaram as Bala and Ram. We understood what is Balaram Tattva from the spiritual platform, and we are now understanding the role of Balaram in our life. So who is Balaram? Balaram is the supreme servitor personality of Godhead. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is explained, Lord Balaram is the original Sankarshan. He assumes 5 other forms to serve Lord Shri Krishna. He executes the orders of Lord Krishna in the work of creation, and in the form of Lord Shesha, he serves Krishna in various ways. So what are the 5 different expansions that Lord Balaram has? First, Balaram himself is an expansion of Lord Krishna. We saw one personality, 2 bodies. So what is the difference? Color. One is Shyamasundara and the other one is white. So what are other 5 forms then? Balaram, Mahashankarshan, Karanodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu and Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Or Mahashankarshan and Shankarshan, or Balaram is the Mool Shankarshan. And there is Karanodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu and Shesha. Shesha. This word Shesha is very significant also. Shesha in Hindi, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे हिंदी भक्त उपस्थित हैं. शेष का मतलब क्या है हिंदी में? बचा हुआ. Correct? So क्या बलराम जी बचे हुए हैं? इसके पीछे भी there is a hidden meaning of what this means. So Ananta Shesh means Lord Balaram is engaged in so many Ananta, infinite devotional services to the Lord, that in spite of engaging in infinite services, whatever is left, that also he is engaged. Ananta Shesh, which means there is no service that is not executed by Lord Balaram. At the same time, what is Shesha? Shesha means that which is remains. So which means the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna has his own potency of Bhagwan. Outside of Krishna, also outside of Goloka Vrindavan, whatever potency should be exhibited by the Supreme Lord, that is exhibited by Lord Balaram through his expansions. Like we said, same person, 2 bodies. So when we speak of Krishna and Balaram, they are 1% and 2% at the same time. That is called Achintya Vedam. That's why I said, this tattva is not understood by the mind and senses. However, we should have the objective of rising to that platform. That is the whole idea of Krishna. So what is the role of Balaram ji in Goloka Vrindavan? He is the supreme servitor personality of Godhead. Krishna is called Savior Bhagavan. He accepts service And Lord Balaram is Sevak Bhagwan. He is the supreme servitor personality of Godhead. Now we saw the Bala aspect of Krishna or Balaram. Now we will look at the Ram aspect of him in very short brief. This photo of Krishna Balaram is very important. This will probably be the only last time I will speak about the Lord here because it's so significant. Anybody knows who is the last demon killed by Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan? Not Kesi, not Dhenikashiva. Kesi is the second last demon. In fact, Kesi was killed in the early hours of that day's morning, and towards the later hours of that day, the last demon that was killed, no, Vyomasura. So, Krishna kills Kesi demon in the morning, and then once the morning is nearing the afternoon, he kills Vyomasura. After that, the cowherd boys are playing, they are having lunch, and on the opposite side of the hill where they are grazing, the gopis are there, they are playing nice instruments, flutes, and mridangas, kartans, etc., and they are having nice kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When Krishna listened to this kirtan, he was so attracted by the call of the gopis, then he leaves all the cowherd boys and their play and their sporting activity and goes to the gopis. And then by the time he also has sporting activities with the gopis, it is late evening. And that day when Keshi and Vyomasura were killed, all Krishna returns back to the cowherd boys and they take all the calves and the cows back to Nandagram. Now, when they are usually going back in the evening, it is a very scenic pastime. All the gopis are waiting on the terrace to have a darshan of Krishna and Balaram coming, because Krishna and Balaram are bathed in the Godhuli. And that is such a special moment. The sun is setting and the Lord is bedecked with pink like jewels of Godhuli. They are looking so beautiful after having sporting activities in the forest of Braj. Now to behold this view, all the gopis are atop their houses in Nandagram, and all the cowherd boys are coming, and Krishna is very excited to exchange loving glances with all his devotees in Nandagopur. Now, on this particular day, it so happened that Krishna was very morose. Krishna was so dull, he was almost at the brink of breaking into tears. Krishna usually plays his flute and has a nice kirtan while coming back. But now, Krishna is lifting his flute with great difficulty, trying to have a smile. Although the gopas are having interesting calls and chants, the cows are also moving, the birds are also chirping, the Godhuli is also raising, but Krishna is feeling very heavy in his heart. Why? Because the next morning, somebody is coming to call him away from Vrindavan. Yes. And Krishna is feeling intense separation from all the Vrajvasis, and now he needs to leave Vrindavan and go to Mathura. So at the same time, Krishna is enjoying the intimate relationships with the cowherd boys and the gopis, and at the same moment, same juncture, he is feeling intense separation. Can you imagine? That is why Krishna is called Rasaraj, king of all mellows. Krishna is experiencing separation and union at the same time. And in Tattva terms, this is called Mahabhav, experienced during Radhyatra. we all discussed previously. This is the highest state of Hladini or bliss that is experienced between Srimati Radharani and Krishna. This is not understood in mundane terms. So when Krishna is experiencing such intense emotions, it is said all the cowherd boys were thinking that Krishna was experiencing intense separation from his favorite beloved Gopi. But Balaramji understood the real reason why Krishna was feeling such intense pain in his heart. And it is said Balaramji gently places a loving, comforting hand on Krishna's shoulder until they reach Nandagodi. Balaramji places a loving, caring hand on Krishna's shoulder until they reach Nandagodi. This is the form of Krishna Balaram that we worship also in Sri Vrindavan. You see, everything that the Acharyas have established for us has such intense and such elevated meaning behind it that this is not an ordinary darshan of the Lord shoes. This is the highest bliss that one can experience in the lives. That is how Balaram understands the mood of Krishna and complements his relationships to facilitate those transcendental mellows. That is why he is called Ram. So Bala and Ram, Balaram, that is the magnanimous personality whose appearance anniversary we are celebrating today. Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai! Now, in the material world, Krishna expands into Balaram, Balaram expands into the Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Arjuna, like that. And then there is further quadruple expansions, the Narayana forms, the Pusha Avtaras, etc. Krishna is also residing as Paramatma. So Lord Balaram is Mula Sankarshan. Now, we are all very special category of people. Why? Because we are supremely qualified. We are all NRIs. Right? 1 KD is equal to, as soon as we enter, relatives are having exchange rates in their mind. Is it not? Special people. So qualified. Is it not true? So great people. We have some divine qualities also that we have appeared in Kali Yuga. Prayana Alpayusha Sabhya Kalavasmin Yuge Jana Manda Samanda Matayo Mandabhagya Upadrita. Such magnanimous, celebrated personalities appearing in such a celebrated yuga that the sages are not ready to utter its name also. If you would have asked some sage in Satya Yuga, what are the 4 yugas? He will say Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. That is the wonderful time that we are all existing right now. So, Krishna and Balaram, they deliver the personalities who have already reached perfection through some way or the other. Which means, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Bhavebhyo Mokshayishyami Mashacha. So to those people who have completely surrendered, those people are elevated and delivered from the cycle of birth and death by Krishna and Balaram. How do they do that? Through the principles of Karshana and Akarshana. Balaramji has what in his hand? A plow. So he plows or he prepares the field of our heart by removing all the weeds of anarthas, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Srila Gaura Maharaj says that the reason why Devaki had 6 abortions before Balaramji could enter was to get rid of the 6 anarthas, which are the 5 mundane senses and mind. So there is Karshana, plowing of the field. Balaramji places the seed of devotion, and Krishna, by the playing of his flute, does Akarshana. He attracts us back home, back to Godhead. So Krishna and Balaram that way empower us spiritually and take us back home, back to Godhead. So, in other words, our existence, whether in the spiritual world or in the material world, is 100% completely dependent on the mercy of Lord Balaram. We cannot even exist without Lord Balaram. Even in the material world, not in the spiritual world. Our existence is completely dependent on Lord Balaram. We cannot even take a single breath without the sanction of Lord Balaram, who is situated as Paramatma in our heart. That is how important Balaramji is for our lives. What to speak of going back to him. But we are not qualified. So for us who are not qualified, what is the only hope? Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana Nidai Gaura Chandra Sabhavatar Sar Shiromani Keval Ananda Kanda. So these are the most merciful lordships who are they?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu.
Jaya Gaura Nitai 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 Jaya Gaura Nitai. So those same Krishna and Balaram appeared in this Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda to deliver the fallen conditioned souls who have no qualification, who have no good fortune, but who have no interest also to get delivered. But they have come to give the highest form of bliss, the highest form of gift to these personalities like me. So what is the mood and prayer that we should have on Balaram Purnima? Lord Nityananda is represented by the Guru Tattva. Therefore, today our mood should be to offer awe and reverence, to offer our humblest obeisances, to offer our prayers to Sri Guru. How do you receive Balaram's mercy? Do you receive Balaram's mercy? Will you receive Balaram's strength by following the principles, by receiving the mercy of Lord Nityananda? You receive the mercy of Lord Nityananda by receiving the mercy of Sri Guru. Therefore, Sri Guru is Lord Nityananda's manifestation. By following the principles that the Acharyas have stated, like following the 4 regulative principles, by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra minimum set number of times, and by continuously associating with the devotees, by engaging ourselves in the process of sadhana bhakti, this is how one can receive the mercy of Lord Balaram. The more we progress on this path, the more we are able to perceive the strength of Lord Balaram and the mellow of the spiritual world, both Bala and Rama. Srila Gaura Maharaj has stated, why we celebrate Lord Balaram Purnima? We take part today in observing the auspicious day of the appearance of Lord Balaram. We are begging him to shower his mercy on us, to infuse that spiritual strength into our hearts. That is material strength. We are begging him to shower his mercy on us, to infuse that spiritual strength into our hearts, to destroy and completely root out all our anarthas, and to enable us to take part in Krishna Janmoshtava. Because without the mercy of Lord Balaram, Nayam Atma Balahine Labhya. Without the mercy of Lord Balaram, we cannot receive the mercy of Lord Krishna. So without celebrating Balaram Purnima, how can you celebrate Krishna Janmashtami? Therefore, let us all surrender ourselves under the lotus feet of Shri Balaram. Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai! One devotee asked, what should we pray to the Lord on this auspicious day? And what should we be asking from him? Srila Jayapataka Maharaj replied, of course, Lord Balaram can give any blessings, but the highest blessing is to have love for Lord Krishna and Balaram. He had a special love for Krishna. Krishna said that Balaram is as dear as my life. And for Balaram, Krishna is as dear as his life. So I think that Lord Balaram, you should pray that knowingly or unknowingly, if we have made offense, please forgive us. And please bless us that we can have love for Krishna. Hari Bol. What do you all think?
Haribol.
So let us all offer our humble prayers and at the same time glorifications to Lord Balaramji by constantly taking shelter of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, 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 Jaya Krishna Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for your patient listening. I know it was intentionally very, very heavy philosophically, but I thought it is important to reveal that aspect of the Lord more than the Leela so that we can understand the gravity of what we are celebrating today. At the same time, I would like to once again beg humble forgiveness at the lotus feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, because if there have been, I know, many mistakes and shortcomings in this presentation due to my own ignorance, I am also